I want you to rewind back in time for a few centuries, precisely the 20th of May, 1786. Yes, this was the exact date when the awe-inspiring figure, Mary Bryant, takes the spotlight and begins her journey from a mere highwaywoman to becoming a long-lasting hero. At the age of 21, Mary Bryant was allegedly convicted for assaulting a spinster and robbing her of a few coins, jewelry, and a silk bonnet. It was believed that she had two accomplices, Mary Hazening and Catherine Fryer. Unluckily, she was convicted of grand larceny at Middlesex jail delivery and was sentenced to death. Of course, her sentence was later commuted to 7-year transportation. Pretty nice and sympathetic judge to do that, if you ask me. Later on, she was taken on board the Charlotte to the land down under. Yep, that's Australia. Bearing in mind her new circumstances, it is inevitable that she would have to suffer from excruciating mental, physical, and financial impacts. The idea for the separation of family and the temporary loss of freedom is similar to how African slaves were sold to different masters. She herself also formed a reliable source of income from the earnings she robbed off others, meaning her sudden relocation would cause financial instability for her family. Putting aside these aspects, she would have started to fear for her chances of survival on her voyage to Australia. As we all know, the conditions aboard are disturbingly, terrifyingly, mind-blowingly bad. To start things off, there was the lack of food and water, meaning half the convicts, by the time they were halfway through their journey, would have died from starvation. To add on to that, there was the hygiene issues where everyone just coughed and sneezed in each other's faces. Ew. And then they had the ragged clothing, where they had only little bit to cover them from the cold chills of the ocean. Luckily for them, half the time it was a matter of suffocation because they were always compacted below deck. In regards to the legal system of the 18th century, you really do start to pity for Mary, for she in no way benefits from it. For example, a local person of influence at the time, such as a landowner, would get pardoned from a magistrate or discontinue proceedings. Obviously, Mary didn't uphold such an important status to be advantaged like so. In other words, she was a nobody, and no one would give two platypus poops if she was given a harsh sentence. Also, the emphasis of the legal system was more on the court trials rather than the state government enforcing the laws. By this, I mean that the criminal was to fight for oneself and make a personal confrontation with victim prosecutor or the disputant. However, Mary Bryant was unable to read or write to a very high degree, meaning she once again was this. Most frightening of all, the 18th century was known to have the Bloody Code, a name given in respect to the large number of death penalties issued as a result of minor property offences. Many were hanged or executed by other means, for as simple as stealing a handkerchief for a sheep, for example. Miraculously, Mary did get a death penalty, but her sentence was pardoned to a very appealing extent. Did Mary Bryant make the right move to commit petty theft even after having full knowledge of the potential impacts she may have to account for if found guilty? Well, she did come from a very poor town, and to cater for her family's basic survival needs, as well as avoid starvation herself, she had no other choice. To top things off, I just wanted to point out one minor flaw in Mary Bryant's decision to give birth to a baby on board the Charlotte. Yes, she could have considered every single possibility there was. She could have been affected by many factors. But the immediate thought that comes to my mind was the future of the child. What could he turn out to be? The king of the pirates?